German prosecutors are seeking charges against Deutsche Bank's co-chief executive Juergen Fitschen in connection with the long-running Kirch bankruptcy case. Well, joining me now to explain more is our banking editor, Martin Arnold. Martin, briefly, what's this case all about?
So this is a long-running affair, as you said. It's something that's been dragging on for about 12 years, and it relates to the bankruptcy of a German media company, the empire of Leo Kirch, the Kirch Group, and the estate of Leo Kirch, who has died a couple of years ago, is suing Deutsche Bank and has sued Deutsche Bank, but the prosecutors are now pursuing Deutsche Bank, we believe. We haven't confirmed that they have filed an indictment against one of the co-chief executives of the German bank, Juergen Fitschen. What we understand is that they have concluded their investigation, the Munich prosecutors, and they are expected to any day now land these indictments against Juergen Fitschen, which would be a pretty heavy blow against Germany's biggest bank and one of the Eurozone's biggest banks.
And just how serious a blow? I mean, this decision was widely expected, but how damaging could it be both for Mr. Fitschen and for Deutsche Bank itself?
Well, potentially very damaging. If, as we expect, the indictment does land, we think that it will be not... it all relates to evidence given by several Deutsche Bank executives in a trial about the collapse of the Kirch Group. It's quite complicated. And the prosecutors are alleging that several of these Deutsche Bank executives gave misleading evidence in this trial, which was in 2011. Juergen Fitschen, however, is being accused of not of giving misleading evidence himself, but of not correcting the misleading evidence of other executives when he knew that it was misleading. So it's a pretty wide-ranging investigation, charges coming. This is going to drag on for several months. If it does go to trial, which we expect, then there could be some fairly damaging evidence produced against the bank there.
And of course, it comes at what is already a challenging time for Deutsche Bank. It faces several other investigations and legal cases at the moment on top of this, doesn't it?
It does. It's settled with the estate of the Kirch Group for close to €1 billion earlier this year, but that was the civil side. This is the criminal side that they're now facing. They agreed a settlement for more than $1 billion with the US Housing Agency for mis-selling US mortgage securities, but they still face big headaches for instance, in the LIBOR investigation, manipulating the LIBOR exchange rate benchmark. Also, they face potential legal headaches with regards to the global investigation into manipulation of foreign exchange rates and benchmarks there. So there's many other issues, and indeed, Juergen Fitschen, the co-chief executive, who's being we think targeted in this case of the Kirch Group, is also being investigated for a case of carbon emission trading certificates in Germany, alongside the Deutsche Bank's chief financial officer. So he's facing potential charges on 2 counts.
Okay, well, Martin, we'll have to leave it there, but for now, thank you very much.
Sure.